right. This is Ronald, and I am in the studio, which is why I sound so crystal clear. I'm not on the couch. I'm not walking out of the theater. I am hanging out on a Saturday morning with my friend Tom. I have a cup of coffee. I am ready to go. This is the episode in which I kind of tell y'all a little bit about the year and what happened with the show and what we want to do next year. Just a few light announcements and whatnot. So this was a pretty good year of movies and television. Looking back over the year, you had Megan, Jury Duty, The Little Mermaid, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Barbie, of course, Oppenheimer, of course, The Night Agent, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, American Fiction, and of course, Godzilla -1, which that review will drop in January, so you'll hear that soon enough. It was fun going to the movies this year. It was fun watching television this year. Lots of good stuff happened. I actually had to remember that Jury Duty came out this year. It felt like something that happened last year, but no, that happened this year, and it was a big hit. No one expected it. On Freevee, of all the things unexpected, on Freevee. Wild. I'm very excited this year. Didn't have to pay for movies as much. I went to press screenings, which means that I am officially a critic now, which means that leaving the theater, we're able to kind of be ahead on our schedule. We're not seeing movies the Thursday before. Sometimes we're seeing them weeks before they come out, and I'm able to kind of like push ahead on the workload, which is great. And I hope that y'all have been able to notice that we stay very consistent. We're very consistent. We're out every week, and we've been able to do that by working with our engineers here at Bias Studios, which I'm very excited to continue working with them. Tom does a great job. He's in here right now. He left me for a while to join the military, which is why Alex joined in. So they're both part of the team now. I'm very excited to be working with them. And they help me. They help me make the show consistent. And this year we maintained a lot because I was focused on launching Wait For It, which if you haven't listened to, that's another Oh It's Big Ron Studios show. It's very good. It's getting a lot of critical acclaim. We hope that you'll start hearing more and more about it in the months to come. But I was focused on launching that, so I wasn't really as worried about the charts. We maintained a lot this year. And because I was focused on launching Wait For It, we weren't worried as much about the charts for leaving the theater. But we stayed consistent, and we stayed consistent in our release. And a lot of that is due to the work that I do here at Bios Studios with Tom and Alex. And we want to keep moving forward. This year, we didn't hit 100K. That was our goal, but we did hit 73,000 downloads. I mean, as of the time that you hear this episode, we will have just crossed over 73,000 downloads, which is incredible because that's still a triple of our downloads from the beginning of 2022, which means we're moving ahead. We're still finding new listeners. And I know we're going to hit that 100,000 number next year because we're still moving forward. It's great. This is a good little show. If you listen to this, if you've been with us from the beginning, you know that this is a good little show. But podcasting isn't easy. For those of you paying attention, you know that this has been a tough year for podcasting. There's been a lot of layoffs. Spotify had layoffs. SiriusXM had layoffs from Stitcher. Pushkin had layoffs. All of these different places had layoffs. Now, I'm fully independent. It's just me, Ronald Young Jr. over here, working with some partners, but I'm an independent company here, which means that all of our budget comes from my pockets. It comes from me doing production for other people and paying for it here. Now, a small percentage of that comes from Patreon. And the reason why I'm even bringing up Patreon right now is because we'd like to make that smaller percentage a larger percentage. Some of you are already in the Patreon, and that's great. Please don't leave. Stay in there. We're going to keep moving forward, but we want to make the show more self-sustaining. And the only way that we can do that is through contributions from listeners like you. If you like the show, if you're like, every week I listen to this show, every single week, I'm asking you to make a contribution. It's helpful. It is going to help pay for studio fees. It helps pay for hosting fees, editing time. It helps us pay for things if we want to like start buying ads other places. If we want to start like promoting a little bit more, we really need the money in order to make sure that the show just stays on track in a way that's not always dependent on me kind of taking funds that I have and putting it into the show and keep pushing it out. But if you like it, help us out. Now, helping out can look like this. The download numbers that we have, we average about 600 downloads an episode. If all 600 of the folks that download an episode gave $7 a month, just $84 a year, the show would make about $4,200 a month, which would be more than enough for Leaving the Theater to pay for studio time, for editing, hosting fees, and we could use some of those funds to help with Wait For It as well. And we know that everybody's not going to pay that $7. We know everybody's you're going to hear this and be like, nah, I don't really want to do that, whatever. And that's fine. Just keep listening to the show, recommend it to other people. That's great. But for those of you that want to get involved, if you can get involved and pay $7 a month or $10 a month, if some of you chose to do that, it would go very, very far in getting the show to a self-sustaining place. And you're going to see a little tag at the beginning of every episode in January because we're really, really trying to push to get that donorship up. So if you have the opportunity to do it, if you have a few extra coins, just know that it's going to a good place. And we'll send you stickers. You'll be in the know with Leaving the Theater information. Every now and then we have behind the scenes content. We'll release that. Every now and then we have extended episodes and whatnot. We'll release that in the Patreon. Also next year, as a part of the monetization push, we're looking to actually start putting ads into the show. Everybody that's in Patreon will have access to the ad-free feed. So if you want to keep listening without ads, you'll be able to do that by accessing Patreon. Now, for those of you that won't do that, it's not going to be ad crazy. There'll just be like a couple of ads in the middle. It's kind of to help continue getting the show to a self-sustaining place. Now, there's one other big benefit that Patreon members have, and this is also our second announcement here, and that's Patreon members get live show ticket discounts. So we have 2 live shows coming up next year. That's right. Save the date. On Friday, July 26th, we'll have Wait For It live at the Miracle Theater here in Washington, D.C. And on Friday, December 13th, 2024, we'll have Leaving the Theater live, our holiday special, which I'm very excited about. We're already starting to go through some of the bookings for it. It's going to be very, very good. If you're into Patreon, you will get 50% off of those tickets. Now, for those of you that were in the Patreon last time, and use the code, you know how significant 50% off can be. The tickets aren't terribly expensive, but to get 50% off means that they're, get as many as you want, get more, you know what I mean? Scalp them. No, don't do that. Please don't do anything. Do not scalp these tickets. We need to sell every seat. But you'll hear more about the live show in the months to come. But in the meantime, please contribute to the Patreon if you're able to. If you want to do that, you can go to patreon.com/leaving the theater. That's patreon.com/leaving the theater. I really appreciate y'all so much for sticking with Leaving the Theater. I love doing this show. It's so fun. I love that every episode that comes out, I love people that are sticking with it. It's always on, and it really is a labor of love. It's just me. You know what I mean? I'm the engine of this show. Again, I have partners. That's not a diss to you, Tom, who's looking at me right now. He's like, what do you mean it's just you? No, but in terms of putting it together, the showrunner, the executive producer, that's me. And it takes a lot of work to do this. So if y'all could help, it would be a big help. You can go to the link in our show notes, or again, go to patreon.com/leaving the theater. Again, that's patreon.com/leaving the theater. I appreciate all y'all so much. I hope everyone has a great year. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I hope everyone is going to have a safe and blessed new year going into the next year. I'm really excited about 2024. My intention has been just to keep moving forward. That's what we're going to do at Leaving the Theater. That's what we're going to do and Wait For It. That's what we're going to do at Oh It's Big Ron Studios. And I hope each and every one of you are doing that in your lives right now. And with that, Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Tom Tyra and Alexandra Ketch of Bias Studios mixed the show. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Alex. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about joining the Patreon, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or Threads at Oh It's Big Ron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studio shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios and on Twitter at Oh It's Big Ron Stew. That's STEW. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening. Okay. Yo, it's your boy Big Ronald Young. And I'm on the mic and I get real reckless on the mic and I talk a lot of trash on the mic. And when I'm on the mic, then it was to talk about Oscar movies, some of which have been out of the theater. Some of which have been out of the theater for months. You're going to have to fix that, Tom. Now, I know that puts us. Stop doing that. Wait, are you just going to come from random place? Okay. All right, I got this. Here we go. Check, check. Okay. What's up, everybody? It's nope, that's wrong. That's wrong, wrong, that's wrong. Podcaster to watch 2020. I will not have you talking to me like this, lady. Like I won't have it. Tom, you can talk to me like that before she can. % patron discount is still available. Papa. Ronald is the best at this in the world. World renowned Ronald Young Jr. Yeah. Leaving the theater. Ooh. It felt good. All right.